Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday to all of you, all those that are going to work, those students here in Grenada that are going to school for the first day. Hope that you guys are having a great day, and those persons that are not in Grenada but around the world, hope that you guys are remaining blessed and having a great day. Today I went to St. George's, and as I was there, I remembered that Hurricane Ivan's birthday is coming up soon again. It's been approximately about 13 years or 14 years, 13 years since Hurricane Ivan passed through Grenada, and the event happened 2004. I always remember that September, and it was like today. I remember it brings back memory, like today school start back and everything. At that time I was young. I was about 13 years at that time, and like today I went back to school. I will give you guys, it will be my story time. It will be a story time about Ivan and my experience going through an hurricane as it was at that time. It was 2004, September. I can't remember the exact date, but it was September 2004. My mom and my dad had just gotten married in August, and I was happy, child. I was happy to be going back to school, to be going to Form 3, to be at that stage in my life where I'm excelling, I'm doing great in school, Yes, I was happy to go back to school, to see my friends that I haven't seen for a while. And the day was normal. I remember Oxide being really hot the week before. It was really humid. You could feel the heat in the air. So I went back to school on Monday, and my friend at that time, I had a close number of friends that I moved with throughout secondary school. So we were having lunch, and she said to me, "You didn't hear about the hurricane that is approaching Grenada?" So I was like, "Not really. I haven't heard much about it." And then she said, the hurricane is heading for Grenada, and they said maybe by tomorrow. So I am telling her, I don't feel it's that serious. Tomorrow I'll be back at school. We'll be back at school, so we're gonna see each other. So the next day, Tuesday, everyone at home got up early. My sister was packing her colors in her head, or you see a roller set in her hair for school the next day, cleaning her shoes. So obviously the government had said, it's a day off to weather the hurricane, whatever, that kind of thing. So we're home here, and we're looking around. In the morning it was a bit cloudy. The sun came out. I can remember seeing the sun, and then the weather started to change. So we were sitting outside, my mom, my sisters and I. We were sitting outside and looking around. The rain started to fall, but it did not fall in any strange way. So then when the rain began to fall, the weather started to change. The wind started to blow, but it was not anything that was that strange, We used to always say in Grenada here that Grenada, God is a Grenadian, so nothing was going to happen. We were well taken care of, not knowing that we would get the full extent of Ivan. So we were there, and then we realized that the trees started to really sway, right? And the wind increased. And then around us we saw a few houses that were below us, because I live on top of a hill. The houses below us the roof and so started to come up, and the board and so started to come up the house. Then soon after that, a few minutes after that, the wind picked up. I remember seeing the trees bending, big trees bending with the wind. At that time, I realized this is something serious, and we were in for something great. So my dad was in the inside. We went inside. My sister and my mom and everybody went inside at that time when that started. And then one heavy wind blew, and the roof at the back of our house, my sisters and I bedroom, the bathroom roof, and my parents' roof came off with that wind. And then we heard the books and so start pelting, like someone was like picking them up and throwing them. And then my brother was really small at that time. The crib that he was sleeping in, Mama put all the ornaments, those glass things inside of it, all that came pelting. And then I remember Dad saying, go into that room, let's go into, there was another room close to the living room, sitting area, my sister's room. We went inside there. While inside there, we could see that the fridge in the kitchen came tumbling over. My mom and my dad, as I said, just got married, so the wedding cake went straight into the drain outside, and the stove, the food on the stove, the pot just went flying outside as well. I remember that day my sister had cooked oil down, and I had some and I wanted some. My mom said, no, you're not gonna have some, wait until later or whatever. So I said to myself, you see, our life is strange. You know, we say later, and then there was no later. It was gone. Everything was just flying about. The windows at the back of the house went. And I don't know how the wind can pick up these heavy windows. Those heavy windows. It wasn't even glass. Those kind of silver windows. It picked that up and it pelted so far, you know. And then my dad built a house. It's a wall house, but certain parts of it is, the flooring is board based on a house that he saw in England. So the whole house is not the ground, the floor is not all concrete. Some parts are good, based on the style that he saw. So that lifted up as well. While we were there, my mom was really scared because she was wondering, you know, would we die? I myself wondered if we would die. We prayed. I remember my mom praying, and we are singing and asking God to please keep that part of the house, the roof on. And I remember the wind picking up. The wind was high, and the thing about it is my dad's mom had planted, and other person had planted so many nutmeg trees. All that came tumbling down. I remember looking outside and seeing that one wind threw down all the trees in one go. That was what it was like. And I remember the rain was in the wind. I actually saw that. The rain was not falling like rain would fall. It was like if the wind had picked up the rain and was moving it around in a circle. It looked, I never experienced a tornado, but that was the kind of thing that I saw, you know. And then the mist came, and for a period of time we wondered what would happen to us here, you know. And I always see that even though a disaster was taking place, you could see that God was there, because that part of the house, the roof there, never shifted. We were getting wet, but we were still able to weather the hurricane in that one room, the smallest room in the whole entire house. And I know that there is a God. And my dad was like, when he saw all the trees come down, all the nutmeg trees and so come down, he was like, God is working. And he laughed, because he said, look at this. People argue about land, people quarrel about land, people wonder about material things, and look at it, you know. And he had just purchased his transportation at that time, and we had a big coconut tree in front of the house that came tumbling down on the transportation. He couldn't even be bothered with that. At that point in time, all he wanted was that his family to be safe. I remembered, my mom was crying, and so my sister was really, scared. I was scared. My brother was young, so he couldn't even be bothered with what was going on. But we were really scared. I remember the weather started to cool down a bit. It took a few hours, but it started to cool down. And I remember looking out the window and seeing a man walking in the road, climbing over the trees that had fallen, and he was drunk. He was just going through like nothing. It was a normal day for him. And then I remember hearing one of the neighbors knocking on the door, and him asking us to rescue him from the storm. And my dad was like, "We're getting wet inside here, but if you want to come in, you can." But then my mom said, "Let's go down to the bus," because most of the weather had passed. So we gathered little things and we went down to the bus when the weather cooled down, and waiting to see when the weather cleared what Oxide would look like. I remember when the morning had come, and I looked around. And Grenada is an island that has plenty trees everywhere. Trees here, trees there, trees everywhere. And that morning when I woke up and I saw that it was like, like fire, like somebody lit the whole of Grenada on fire, and there was like, to me, like it was cleared. Everything was just cleared up. Nothing. And I was wondering to myself, how is Grenada going to get healed from this? How is Grenada going to heal from this? And all these trees down, all these houses down. Up to today, a lot of persons are still homeless. A lot of persons have not been able to really do over their roof or fix their house properly. Even here at home here, there's so much damage that it takes a lot. But at the end of the day, my parents were happy that we survived, happy that we were alive. That was the most important thing at that time, And waking up and seeing all the destruction, it was really sad. I remember a lady up here, actually her house fell on her. She was an elderly woman, and that was really sad. And the people in the community just gathered together and tried to help her, to get medical attention by cleaning up the trees quickly so that she could get to the hospital. It was really sad. A lot of persons lost their lives. It's a very small island, so we have 10 deaths. It's like 1,000 people dying, and a life is so precious. It's so sad that that the disasters happen and things happen, and that's why I don't take life for granted. People say I don't hold on to grudges. I don't remain angry for a long time, because after a lot of things happened in my life and in the life of my family that really touched my heart. And sometimes I get angry, or maybe I get frustrated, and I may argue maybe with someone, my loved ones or someone, but I never stay angry. I always either say I'm sorry or I say forgive me, because these things teach you how life is and how your life can be over in just a split second. How the people around you have to appreciate them each and every day. As I say, a lot of us have our parents and we don't appreciate them, appreciate the things that they have done. Little as it is, sacrifices that they have made. They may not be able to give the money and give you those materialistic things, but there are so many parents that fight so many battles, struggles, family problems, situations, and they had no one at their side, And sometimes just pick up the phone and speak to them. You may have an argument with a sister or brother. Don't live in hatred. Don't live in fear of saying I'm sorry, or fear of being rejected. Always open your arms to your family. Always forgive. It's hard to forgive, but it's better, because when you hold on, you become bitter, and you become it's something that makes you destroy your life than improve your life. It doesn't make sense holding on to anything. So I'd say, if you have a sister or brother or someone that you don't speak to, try to reach out to them, and try to speak to them. Just say hello. You never know. People the whole life is short, and don't be waiting until they die or something happens to say I